The way to best describe Gary Shamis is a mensch. He has a humbleness about him. He is a great leader, and everyone who works with him knows it, but he's not the first to tell you.
I mean, if I think there was one word that I would describe Gary, it's caring. I mean, he just cares about people. He cares about people around him, and he makes an effort and goes out of his way, to help people.
I think Gary is a very special volunteer.
There's lots of ways to describe Gary, but in my work with him on behalf of the community through the Jewish News, I'd have to say selfless.
One word that I would choose to describe Gary is passionate. He is very passionate about his family, about business, about the CPA industry, and about all of the civic things that he's involved in, certainly including Hillel.
He just does the right thing. Gary just has an innate sense of always doing what needs to be done and doing it in a very humble way.
I would say Gary is very motivated.
Gary I would say, is very optimistic. He just doesn't see that anything can't be done. There's a way to do it all.
If I start counting the organizations he's led and been president of, I'll probably miss one.
He was the president of his class at Heights High, and I could always remember him getting involved in different organizations.
In speaking with Gary and also with Jennifer, that I have come away just tremendously impressed with the work that Gary did when he was president of the board.
Gary's ability to help this Jewish News navigate through all those issues really set the stage for a much stronger foundation for the paper so we can continue to grow and fulfill our mission to the community.
You know, one thing with Gary is that he likes to be challenged. He's never content, and I would say that's probably one of the things that's made our accounting firm so successful.
Gary decides to intervene in the direction that things are going and turn them to a positive direction. If things are going well, he raises the bar to make them go better. And Gary's major contribution to the Federation and the community is the big improvements he makes in the agencies that he leads. We saw it at the Jewish News. They're in a much better position than they would have been if he hadn't taken that position. And of course, we're celebrating the achievements at Kent State. I can't imagine that this would have come together this way without Gary's thoughtfulness and drive.
My mother carried articles around her purse. Oh, you want to see my son? So I'll do that now. Every article.
There's a quiet sensitivity to him. I remember when we were hanging the mezuzah in the new building, there's a great picture that captures Gary almost in tears, and it was the same feeling that I had knowing how hard we had worked, and there were few other people that shared that knew how hard we'd all worked together to make it so, and Gary was one of those people, and it was really emotional for him, and it was exciting to watch him realize his dream, realize our dream, and to be so emotional about it.
I think that Gary was inspired by a lot of different events in his life, but probably the most important would be that Gary and Kathy had a brother, David, who died young at 16 from a brain tumor, and I think from seeing how his parents kept up with life and kept up with Gary and his sister and didn't miss anything, you know, they just got over adverse situations and just worked so hard and did what they had to do, and he just saw from the community and the people that helped to take care of David that there are people out there that offer their services, and I think that probably all had a big impact on him.
Dad, I always find it so amazing how you run such a successful accounting firm, spend so much time with our family, and still make such a huge impact on the community like you did with Kent State. Congrats.
Dad, you've been an inspiration to me both professionally and personally. From building your firm's national reputation to always finding time to support your family, you have been the perfect role model for me and my hero. Thank you so much for all you've done, and I'm so proud to call you my father. Congratulations on all your accomplishments, and love you very much.
Neither of us went to Kent. The only connection we have is that our wedding reception was held at the Holiday Inn in Kent, right on Route 43 and on the 76. So that's the closest we ever came to Kent, and maybe that was just the beginning of something that we didn't realize.